Hey everyone, welcome back to Maelinfell. In this episode, I'll be adding in some new homes and farmlands, so without further ado, let's just jump straight on into it. Okay, so the first building I began working on was the farmhouse, which is a little smaller, but I think the shape and varying roof heights really make it stand out. I wanted to place it a little higher on the hill, so the farms can be multi-layered and circular to give it a nice look that fits with the terrain. Now after that, I actually built four more homes for the people of Maelinfell, which all have similar interiors but slightly different exteriors. This is to add more depth and architecture to the area. But that's pretty much it, and that's the overview of the video. And so far, I'm really excited as to pretty much how it's coming along. I'm really enjoying this Nordic Viking architecture, and even though my builds are designed to be fairly simple, I'm still more than happy about the results, and I hope you are as well. Now, I am working on the lore for this, and it's going to be some pretty messed up stuff, but not necessarily in a bad way. Just a lot of betrayal, poisoning, stuff like that, different, family dynasties and things like that. So there's definitely going to be a lot of cool stuff into it, so stay tuned for more. But now let's move on to some basic information. So if you haven't already heard, the server is up for public spectating, so you can explore this world at your leisure. And for those of you who already have, I'm really glad that you did, and I'm really looking forward to your advice on how to make it better. Also, if you want to support this channel and the public server, you can subscribe on Patreon. There are a few different levels, and there's actually pretty neat benefits to each one that I really think the community will enjoy. Now, the link for everything involving the channel, the Discord, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff will be pinned in the comments below to make things a little bit easier for you. But if you can't support the channel by monetary means, which of course you certainly don't have to, you can always subscribe to the channel, give a thumbs up, comment, and share this video. That is amazing support as is, and I thank every one of you who already does that and who plan to. Without you, this channel wouldn't be here, and we definitely wouldn't be to where we are now. So that's enough of me talking. Here's a little bit of music, and I'll see you again for the walkthrough. Alright, so here we are at the beginning of where we left off in the last video, part 1 of Maelinfell. Now, I'm going to be working on the tree in another video. Really tried to squeeze it in with this one, but there just wasn't enough time. So that is going to be coming on in probably the episode 3. So first what we're going to do is we're going to go on up to the farmhouse. Now, as you can see here, we have a very low-hanging entrance. We have some clothes, out drying off on the side here. We have a cart. We have goods. I tried to make the exterior a little bit different. So instead of just a straight line of stone and then wood or something else, I decided to kind of blend them in a little bit and really kind of make it transition into wood. So let me know how I did. I think it came out pretty good. But going on into the entrance, you can see here, all the houses don't really have walls on the inside. Everything's very open. It's like an open floor plan, very simple. We have the kitchen area here with a small little fireplace. This is one of the only few buildings to have cabinets and things like that. And now that is for a specific reason, because this is not supposed to be a very high-end area, but there are going to be a little bit more buildings that have that available to them, so it's going to be really cool. But we have the support beams, we have all this stuff, the beds and everything. I just like the way that it came out. I think it came across really cool. And now what we're going to do is move onward to the farmland a little bit. So as you can see here, this is the first area here. We have nothing but wheat. So every little house and residence is going to have their own garden. But this supplies a lot of the wheat for the entire village. As you can see here, we have a few piles of it. I know it's the hay block, but we're going to use it as if it is wheat, in this scenario. And like I said, you can see here just going down to the 3rd tier, and then we're going to go down to the 4th tier in just a moment. But I just tried to make it look really cool, kind of very much fit in with the hill and just the geography of it all. I really wanted it to come together and just look really nice. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As you can see here, you can see how they're stacked, and that would actually also help with rain going downward as well. And you can see how I kind of outlined the whole wall with a second layer, especially on the outside, just to, give it a little bit more depth. What we're going to do now is we're going to go down the stairs and we're going to check out all the houses from, this side to the next side. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into this house right here. Very simple. You can see they're very much alike, but they're all a little bit different on the inside. And that's kind of where it happens. So you can see here we have a nice fireplace in the middle, some beds on the side, a small little table, some coal for the fire, some supports and all that kind of stuff. And the cool thing about this fire is if you look right on up, boom, there's a little air hole. For any of the smoke and stuff to go out into. So I did think that was a nice kind of touch, and most of the houses are going to actually have that in there because it doesn't make sense to have a fire in the middle of your home and have no way for smoke to get out. So as you can see here, once again, we have a little bit of clothes going out to dry. This is going to be a slightly larger home. It is slightly diagonal as well. But when you go in, once again, there are no walls. Everything is very much open. But we have a small little kitchen area here. We have some meat on the counter. We have some vegetables. We have some potatoes, some cabbage, things like that. A little bit of herbs and a fish hanging out to dry. Probably would smell terrible, but hey, oh well. When medieval and fantasy times weren't known for their great smells. But you can see here we have a small little table. We have a dresser. We have the beds, a chest, some brooms and stuff like that stacked up against the wall. Like I said, these homes aren't very complicated or anything crazy, but they do get the point across that these are a group of simple people, and they are here to protect the tree and live just normal, simple lives, and that's just all it is. Here is an example of each home has its own little garden, and you can see here we have some tobacco growing on the last one. I forgot what it was, but it's definitely something edible. Here we have a small little sitting area. What we're going to do is we're going to check out this circular house. Now, of course, this is borrowed heavily from the Maelinfell tribe, the circular home with the supports, the fire pit in the middle, things like that. Multiple beds here. Now, this would be for a decent sized family, about 3 or 4. There are 4 beds, but there's always room for an extra one. But you can see here, once again, there's the little smoke hole for everything to go out of. And I just like the way, it's a little cramped, but I like the way it comes out. It's not too cramped. It's just enough. And I think that, that comes out really well. Once again, another small garden with some, decorations outside, some jars and whatnot. And here's a little cabbage and a turnip garden right there. So once again, all over the place. Fills in a lot of the empty area. It comes across really, really well. Here we have another small, house in the traditional Viking style, the V, the upside down V. So we have a small little, table, barrels. We have the little holes right there. Once again, for the smoke to get out. And once again, I just think it came across really, really well. We have a few beds here. We have some shelving. We have a table. We have some barrels and stuff like that. And coal to store goods in and to, help wash clothes and stuff like that. And I just think it all just comes together really well. I'm very excited about this build. It's really coming together, and I'm ready to just keep building it and keep going. So here we have, some trees. I threw some in there. And we have a well, of course, which is always important to have some clean water. Of course, we have the water against the ocean, but that's salt water. Nobody likes to do that. Now, you could always boil it and strain it, and these people do that on certain occasions, but there are going to be wells pretty much strategically placed throughout the village. Anyways, this is a flyover of what we have so far. Now, we'll be building out all the way to the ocean. It doesn't look like a lot of space, but it actually is, and it's gonna look really nice and dense when all this is said and done. It'll look like a true, honest city. But like I said, I really like the way it's coming out so far. I like looking above it, and you have all the thatched roofing, with the wood outlines. You have the trees decorating it. That other tree, the life tree, is going to be absolutely massive. So it's gonna kind of encompass a large part of the city, so that's gonna be really, really cool. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Let me know what you want to see next and what I could do better. But anyways, this is the Legendary Porpoise signing off. I hope all of you have a good day and happy gaming.